Greetings all, and welcome to the Raw Pros. As you can see we have two guests here on today. We have Antonio Brecher, the audience. I know y'all used to him, and we have Tyrone Wade. We know him as the connoisseur in the house. Connoisseur. All we can see is your lip. You got to bring your face. We always see. Okay, we got you. You good.
Okay, you got me now. I'm trying to. You got me good.
We got you good. Hey, I just want to welcome everybody. Hey, I'm gonna do something a little bit different today for you all.
All right, cool.
I like to do motivational moment. Come up with about 15 seconds to give everybody an inspirational, motivational moment to get them fired up for the cast, for the live. Who want to go first? You want me to go first? I go first.
Go first. Go first. So we can get a
I start it up. My motivational moment and my motivational quote or saying for today is, "Don't stop, get it." Don't stop, get it. Let me tell you why I say that, man. Y'all know I'm a big Luke fan, Two Live Crew.
Mm-hmm.
But in today's society, man, don't stop, get it means so much to me as well as other people, man. A lot of times we become discouraged for whatever things that goes on in life. And even though it say don't stop, man, we can't stop. We got to get it. At the end of the day, it's a comical saying. When everybody hear it, they know what it means. At least our age, you know. Brett always tell me I be dating myself. That's okay though. But I just want the audience to know, hey man, we're gonna go through trials, we're gonna go through tribulation, man. That's gonna be mountains in front of us. But no matter what, man, we can't stop. We gotta get it. And whatever getting it is for you, let's make it happen. Make it do what it do. I'll take a sip today. They're refreshing water.
My little motivational, I might say you gotta go back some years ago when I was teaching at CCA. There was a saying that was out back in the mid 2000s. Anybody can get it.
Okay.
What that says to me is that, you know, you can get it. You can do it. No matter who you are. I mean, I done seen some of my former students as inmates get out and be successful. And they started way behind where I started from. They started further. You say, you know, I know people that, you talk about people having the same opportunities, but I know some folks that started behind enemy lines and doing well, doing exceptionally well.
Uh-huh.
So I say anybody can get it. If you put your mind to it, you can do it.
Okay.
So mine is anybody can get it.
It's on me now?
Yeah.
It's on you, bro.
Okay, Will got quiet here over there firing his hookah up. All right, I'm gonna do the I got a little something different. I'm gonna do the remix, the B mix. I know one of the quotes I used to say a long time ago, which I believe in, is, be the change that you're trying to see. However, I'm gonna add a little tweak to it, and I'm gonna say, don't let the change interfere with what you're trying to see, because I believe back then when we used to say be the change, people was afraid of change. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they say be the change that you're trying to see. But now change, as y'all know, I'm talking about you wake up to one system and then go to sleep and the whole system has changed. So I think a lot of people are so afraid of change, they let that interfere with what they're trying to see. So I just say, man, don't let the change interfere with what you're trying to see.
And then, and I like that because there's so many things that's going on in today's time. And you're right. You wake up one day, the next day it's something totally different.
Totally different, man.
And we just in there talking about today. I was talking to one of my facilities. As for we talk about young folks and how do you get the millennials and the Generation Z to understand the change is going to go on, change is going to come.
Yeah.
And with that, a lot of them have gotten to the point that it's easy to just say, I ain't got to do this. I mean, they do it more
at the drop of a dime. I'm telling you.
I got it.
Yeah.
All right. I thank you all for that. We're gonna move on today. I really want to talk about Servant leadership is a theory that has been out for over 50 years, and it has been one of the most researched leadership theories. One of the authors that's well known for it, there's many authors, more current authors, but Greenleaf identified that in 1977. And so I guess Greenleaf, he did a big time research on servant leadership. Now, this is the catch. Okay. This is why I always like to have this conversation on leadership theories. We look at things from not only leaders. I like to hear from people that's not leaders, that's everyday frontline workers coming in and getting it. You know what I'm saying? So give me y'all perspective of servant leadership, and let me give you a couple of things so you can gain an understanding. Anybody that knows anything about servant leadership, when you go in and read about it, it always talks about the example of Jesus Christ, how Jesus Christ was a servant leader. He didn't necessarily tell people things to do without him doing it. He led by an example. And so that's how he was a servant, more so than anything else as his leadership. Servant leaders perceive leadership as a continuous opportunity to serve others. And most importantly, what I like about the servant leadership theory, it is a role model, and it provides an opportunity for the servant leadership to be enhanced. So with that said, in your workplace, the things that you're doing today, the things you have seen in the past, what do you identify and how do you benefit from servant leadership?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't really did a lot of research on it, but just what you're saying, I've seen it. You know, when you first said servant leadership, first thing I thought about when I was coming up in the church. You know, you had two types of pastors. You had the pastor that was out there, the charismatic pastor. He was the one that everybody, you know, he set the tone. He was in charge. He delegated. And then you have the pastor that led by example. He was the one that got out there and helped you knock on doors. He was the one that was having what they used to call meals on wheels, but they felt elderly people. He was out there doing those things. He was out there with his parishioners doing things. He just wasn't there standing on top, delegating, but he got involved. Now, in my current position as a teacher, I'm not in no leadership position, but I can tell you that, you know, I've dealt with some principals who, and even in the past, I've dealt with supervisors that got in it. They just didn't sit back in the office and just say, I want you to do this, I want you to do this. But they get out there and they got in with you. You know, we worked, you know, back in our younger years, we worked at places like, you know, your Hermitage Hall, your mental health cooperatives. We knew that there were certain supervisors that was gonna get in there and help you rough up the kids if you needed it. They weren't scared to get in there. And then there was gonna be those supervisors that would sit back and let y'all do everything and run and hide. So, but servant leadership is good because when you have a person that's a servant leader, they attract the best people. People want to work with somebody. I've seen jobs where a manager leaves and people at their job follow them to different jobs. Yeah. I seen it at Lowe's. I've worked at Lowe's. I've seen it at Lowe's. You have a store manager leaves and the people follow them. They go to the next door because that person is the type of person. Now they lead by example, but they get in there, they do the work. They just not sit up in their rooms or their office. They actually get in there. They actually get in there. Yeah. So, but you got to do it. If you want to be an effective leader, you want to get the best people, you will get the best people. If people feel like you got their back, you got their interest, you don't mind helping out, you'll get the best people. If you look at a lot of agencies where they in and out with employees don't stay, it's a lot of times it's at the top. The people don't feel comfortable. The people don't feel assured. And that's what servant leadership gives your employees. It gives them some assurance that, hey, I'm here for you. If you need me, I'll get in there with you. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because if a lot of people learn by hands-on. And that's what a servant leadership is. And also one of the things that I like to talk about with that is transformational leadership. But I'm gonna let the audience do their research on that. Go ahead, Mr. Burchell, what you got?
Well, Woods, as you know, man, you done been around me and my leadership for quite some time. So, as you know, man, I'm a big believer and pusher of that servant style of leadership. And the way I view it, man, is basically really, and I really have this true belief. I feel like people don't work for me, I work for them. You know what I'm saying? I say it, I bleed it, I own it, and I live by that motto. And I think you kind of ask, how do I benefit, or how do we benefit from that? The way I benefit from that, because if they shine, I shine. You know, we always talk about that whole Tony Dungy style of coaching, man. But I have always been a believer of that. Like my people, like, I'm gonna give you an example right now. We know in most of y'all areas it's snowing. I came from the trenches, so I know what it feels like to have to sleep in a program for 72 hours when it's snowing, because people are gonna call out and you're gonna have call outs. But like right now, I'm over 5 programs, but because I have that servant type of leadership with my people, man, like I don't even have to worry about having to go to programs because I make sure my people got what they need so they can run their program. But I just had that true belief, man, that, you know, my even though people I employed buy me and work for me, but I really feel like I work for them for real. You know what I mean? I just try to, you know, move their way all the time. As you know, was also outside of what I do in my residential life, I had some experience with some non-residential companies, and I brag about it all the time. People laugh, but Waffle House, man, they have that same concept. Publix, they have that same concept. If you notice in Waffle House, man, soon, I don't care if it's a store manager, a general manager, an area manager, first thing they come in doing when they come in the store, they get on the grill. If they see it's crowded in there, they get on the grill and start cooking.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you one of the big differences about that servant leadership is when you bleed it and it's in you for real, your staff can tell that it's not forced. They can tell that you're comfortable doing. Yeah, I'm not just coming out here because the cameras are rolling and I'm taking pictures, you know, whatever. I don't know if y'all ever seen that meme where the guy helping the homeless person and he taking a picture while he doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like ain't no pictures. This just me. When I come in the program, I'm going in the back to check on the staff and the kids, and it's natural. It ain't because somebody told me to do it. And people can see that and they can feel it.
Because the thing about it, man, when you are genuine, people would, man, they would knock down walls for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because just as Connoisseur spoke, man, you got people that would leave one job and follow you and follow you and follow you, and this happens no matter what. You know that when you left from one spot and came to another one, everybody came, and what did you tell me? I didn't bring them.
I didn't bring them.
They came they found because they found you. They heard, and just like, you know, the best advertisement as well as the worst advertisement, even today, is that word of mouth.
Yeah.
Word of mouth can excel you. Word of mouth can hurt you. But that's why you got to be true to the character that you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good one. All right, let me get this to y'all. It states research has showed that organizational development and organization behavior that can model servant leadership as a higher outcome for other leaders. Let me say this again. Organizational development and organizational behavior, which is 2 things I teach. In that, if the leaders can truly model it, it brings along more servant leaders. What's your perspective on that?
Yeah, you're right. It will. If you got people that model something good, if they can model something good that's effective, you're going to produce more. And it's about being effective. If servant leadership is effective, and when things are effective, they have a tendency to produce other things that are effective. Of course, it's going to do that. You can see that with even not only at our level, but you can look at the world level. You look at leaderships across the world. I think about the guy that's in Burkina Faso right now, Troy Ibrahim. He's a military leader, Burkina Faso, And he's doing things like this man's not taking, he cut his salary, he cut his cabinet salary. He's telling my people, hey, we're not gonna get no loans. We're gonna get out there and do that. If I need to get out there and help dig ditches with y'all, with the people, I'm gonna do that. And then you start to see other leaders in that area, and the people respond. When people respond to you, they'll protect you. They'll protect you at all costs. And that's what happens. And that's what you see with this guy in Burkina Faso. His people protect him at all costs. And now you're seeing other people in that area that's kind of following his model, because it's like, look, this is going to offer me protection, you know. And you can look at that even as, you know, we come back to America, we come back over here, and you look at what rappers do, certain rappers. Master P was able to get a lot of rappers because of the way he was. He took care of his people.
Yeah, he
You know,
did.
he took care of them. He took care of them. He said, look, we family. We not blood, but when we in No Limit, we family. And that's why he was able to get Snoop from Suge Knight. And on a lighter note, that's how George Clinton was able to get Boosie Collins from James Brown, because George Clinton was more wide open. He was more flexible. And that's one thing about leadership too. You got to be flexible.
Yeah.
The way I supervise Bratcher may not way I supervise Chop, because I understand y'all got different personalities, and I got to deal with y'all different ways. And I got to see that what's in Bratcher and be able to bring that out, what's in Chop and be able to bring that out. So yeah, go ahead.
I'm about to say, that's why you hear me always say that leadership is one, knowing your people, two, treating your people the same, but also treating them differently.
Yeah.
But that you just said it. My goal is, on paper, my goal is to treat everybody the same, fair, consistent, and provide the support that you need. But when I say different, you got to understand that I have to come around or come with a different approach in order to get a different outcome from Connoisseur. I know the Bratcher outcome is already going to be there because this is his thing. It's a different style of motivation and different style of inspiration that has to come. So I got to always make sure I understand that approach. What you got, Brett?
Well, just to kind of piggyback, man, I think it goes hand in hand, right? I know I talk a lot about just being organic and something being in you, right? Which I think I got both of those. But however, man, I can't help my people if I ain't sharpening my sword, you know? So,
Exactly.
so I can be, man, hands-on, be in tune with them. I'm talking about, I can do all of that team building, morale type stuff. But if I'm not actually giving them things that they can use to become a better FA, a better clinical director, I mean, you know, what am I here for? So, and I can't do that without sharpening my tools. So I definitely think that it kind of goes hand in hand, because the only way that you can be a servant to your people is by you being able to provide them with knowledge and give them things that's going to make them better. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think it goes hand in hand. And Connoisseur, I actually want to, you know, challenge you a little bit. I know you said you're not in a leadership role, but you actually are. I mean, you got the audience with teaching. You know what I'm saying? And and I know that they, you know, not employees, but man, you developing the leaders before they even get a chance to become leaders. You know what I'm saying? So, and I say that same way, like with the I hate to use the word clients, you know, but with, you know, the same way that I approach my staff, man, I do the same way with the kids too. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, as I'm building them to be leaders and all that, I'm actually making my staff job easier as well. And hopefully, again, man, maybe one day they'll get it right and become a leader. And when they do get that job, they already 10 steps ahead of some of the kids that went to college, because they was already learning leadership skills because they was being taught or supervised by a strong leader that was a servant. You know what I'm saying?
Let me share this right here. This is one of the things that, and you was there on a couple of these situations, is that even in tough times, we as leaders have to role model things that we find to be easy. But you got staff that's looking like, I don't know about this. And they watching you to see how you're going to default. Give you a perfect example. We had this kid in the juvenile detention center, big time gangbanger. You already know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Big time gangbanger, and he was being inappropriate and was a danger to himself. and we had to do a physical restraint on him in order to make sure he was good. And I was like, Brett, I got this. I got this.
You did.
And it wasn't that I was going in trying to be big and bad. It was just one, man, you got to have a rapport with people. You got to have a rapport. But like you said, whether it's a client or it's an adult. And then when I went in there, he tried to tussle, but, we got him into a safe hole by myself and everything. And all the thing, his thing was, man, get your big ass off me.
Yeah.
But at the thing was, Branch and Holler, man, you did that so cool. It was like you just laid him on a pillow.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it let the staff know you don't always have to be in the angry, ready to take your shirt off and all that to always look like that you're the aggressor. Sometimes you have to realize the situation is what it is, remain calm, and let's get the outcome that you're looking for. And what a lot of people understood, I talk loud when I'm speaking because I'm speaking with authority and I had to. But you never heard me raise my voice at not one kid.
Nah.
You never heard me raise my voice at not one staff. I said what I had to say, and I was done. Direct.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this one.
Okay.
It states that, and this is a good one, servant leadership is an effective means for an organization to create an ethical culture. Okay? Create an ethical culture. It goes and say with further servant leadership that individuals become and have a level of moral reasoning and is able to display a level of ethical and unethical behavior. Does that make sense?
That last part.
What I'm getting is you saying that.
Hold on. So let me repeat it.
Okay.
Pretty much in creating an ethical culture.
Okay.
As you are teaching, because the goal is, as a servant leader, is to create more servant leaders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. All right. But it states that servant leaders, when they create this ethical culture, it provides individuals with the opportunity to have a high level of reasoning through a moral perspective. And they are able to make ethical and unethical decisions.
Okay.
So basically, from my understanding, servant leadership, which is showing people how to do things, getting in there with them, provides a basis of accountability. And I want to say transparency. And if you provide people with transparency, then you know what you do, and accountability, okay, you say what you're going to do, then they're more likely to behave better or be more ethical because they see, okay, my works can get rewarded, as opposed to a leadership that's greedy, that encourages people to be greedy, selfish, and unethical. Is that what you're saying? That's what I'm getting?
That's your perspective. If that's your perspective, that's not wrong with that.
That's what I'm saying. So servant leadership creates a culture of ethical because if you got everybody on top behaving in a certain way, hopefully it trickles down. And what's trickling down is transparency and accountability. And if they see that the top is transparent and they'll be accountable, then they'll more likely be like, okay, I can be more open up with you. You see what I'm saying? That's how I look at it.
What about you, Brett?
I'm gonna tell you what I took from that. I'm gonna go to like expectations, right? You know what I mean? And I know one of these old quotes we used to say in our field is inspect what you expect, right? Right. And I'm telling you, not only does that make sense, it works, right? But if you're not a servant leader, it really ain't worth the paper that it's written on, right? Because you're inspecting something that you expect, and you're gonna always be disappointed because the people expectations didn't meet your needs, right? I do feel that a lot of the times that whether it's residential, whether it's Waffle House, whether it's Publix, A lot of times people sit in training, they go through policies, they go through all this, and they call bullshit. They say, man, these expectations are unrealistic. They sign up for the
Yeah.
job, say I'm gonna do it, but man, I'm gonna cut every corner I can because it's unrealistic. But when you're a servant leader and you're actually out there inspecting what you expect live, not after people got off or not, doing business hours when it's convenient for you. Like I'm gonna give you an example, and of course, I'm always gonna talk about residential because that's what
Yeah,
I've
that's
done
cool.
my
Yeah.
life, right? So we third shift. Woo, that's 1 hour ones, man. And I'm talking about me and Woods, man. We was tasked with undoing and redoing and retraining a third shift culture that had been that way for years. And everybody knew it was that way. And they looking at us like, fix it. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Fix it.
After we got outside of ourselves, because we was looking at them like, why would we fix something that y'all allowed 5 years? But again, our name was on it, right? But we had to inspect what we expected live. We couldn't manage third shift without ever going there. You know what I mean? And being honest, man,
Absolutely.
me and Woods had to change our schedule. You remember that when we rotated and we said we gonna stay there to 12 a.m. until we inspected what we expected and showed them that these expectations are realistic. Because being honest with you, we were giving them not like me and you wrote it out. We just was giving them what somebody else gave them, but them expectations were unrealistic for them because they could not do that until we role
And
modeled it and showed them.
Mhm.
And when we did that, was what happened, man. The expectations started being met because they saw us doing it. Then they was
but
like,
two,
oh,
two, two, two things happened there. They either met the expectations or they either left
yeah, they
because
realized.
the expectations were too much.
Yeah,
Because you had people that were there 10, 15 plus years and they done things the way that they wanted. And then their thing was, who they think they is coming to change the thing. But the thing was, we did and showed up and showed them how to do things
yeah,
because we're doing it here with you. We're not
You're right.
telling you to do something. We're showing you how to do it, and
Mhm.
we here with you to get in with you. There's been many times that I wouldn't ask nobody to stay over for shift. I stay over.
uh-huh.
Exactly. Third shift. Do whatever it takes because I wanted to role model. The thing is, I can't ask you to do something that I'm not willing to do.
Yeah,
And you look at when we start doing what was this, our surprise contraband search in the facility,
yeah,
and I said, now we're gonna do this by 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Then
Mhm.
we was hit with some resistance because people like, ain't nobody gonna come up here at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And then if it was nobody else there, it was me and you in the
Mhm.
beginning. Then the
Mhm.
supervisors start coming, and I'm like, man, if I knew y'all was gonna be here, I would have done it. So what they're saying was people were used to people saying, hey, I want this done, this is what we're gonna do, but we ain't gonna show up, we're gonna leave it for y'all.
Yeah,
But not only that changed the culture, it changed the culture for the kids because they got to the point they were like, man, ain't no need me trying to bring no contraband up in here or get somebody to be here because I don't want to be woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I just went to sleep. And now I'm here with some contraband and now I'm pissed off and I'm sleeping.
yeah, right, right.
All right.
You know, Woods, man, I can give a million examples about this, like working in environments where people were, and maybe that's why I'm the way I am too, because I luckily been in environments where most of my supervisors were very hands-on, for real, really, man. But I had some small, I guess, so times where I've been in some situations where they weren't, but that's been very rare, and you could tell the vast difference. And I'm gonna give you one, like I talked about Publix earlier. Every job you got quotas and got time frames and deadlines.
Yeah.
And I remember days where we got a truck that was large and we had a certain amount of hours to stock it. I had those type of supervisors like, come on, man, go speed it up, blah, 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 blah. But they actually was getting out there with their suit and ties on, throwing the truck with you. Now, rewind to earlier in my career, I worked at, I know they're gonna be like, man, he had a lot of jobs. I worked at FedEx, the grounds, the what you call it. And man, you had the supervisors that was walking it by like, my grandmother can do that truck faster than you and all that. You be like, man, get your ass in here, get your grandmama in here then. You know what I'm saying? Because they was doing it, but they were not getting in doing it with you. And again, that's why turnover was so high at places like that. But man, that servant leadership, man, is critical, man. And I just been blessed to I always been in situations where I had servant leaders, and I guess so. That's why I do the same.
You know, speaking of that, I'm gonna be honest with you. Most of the servant leadership I've ever seen, I mean, seen some in education, but I see most of them I seen in my part-time job.
Mm.
Then I worked at Lowe's because you know I've had good ASMs that get in there and help you do stuff. I'm
Mm.
like, hey, I need some help. I'm in paint department. I'm working. I'm getting swamped. ASM get over there and help you out. You know, at the professional level, I probably would say that the most I've seen it was probably is probably now at the education level that I'm in. But other jobs, when I worked in mental health, no,
Mm.
no, you on your own. You on your own with them kids. You on your own with the clients. No,
Let me ask y'all this.
I got a question too, Woods, but go ahead.
Okay, do you display what you expect?
do I
you role
explain?
model? Do you display it? Do you role model what you expect from somebody? Meaning,
You know,
for you coming through it on two perspectives. You identified being an employee at two different facilities. You know, Lowe's, and you talk about it as a teacher. Do you display what and how you want a leader to lead you according to the way you display your behavior?
I think so because I believe in holding kids accountable at the education level. So if I write up a kid, I expect something to happen. If I'm taking the time out to call this parent, write this kid up, then hopefully I expect the people at top, to follow up with my write up. So yeah, and then now I ain't gonna lie, the Lowe's now, I be chilling. I'm just there for check now. I'm like, fuck it. I ain't saying shit. I ain't saying a damn thing now.
Go ahead, Brasher. What you got, man?
Man, I had some technical difficulties. The alarm went off on my phone, and my volume went down, so I didn't even hear what you said, Wood.
Do you display what you expect?
Oh yeah, man. I don't know no other way, man. Like how do you expect somebody to do something and you're not doing it? And it kind of went back to the question that Connoisseur made me think of, like when you are in those areas where you don't have servant leaders. I think it's two things that happen. You either get people who came off the floor and was like, once I get off the floor, what my guy say on Friday? I know what I said, but when I got rich, I was gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got people that got off their floor and be like, I'm too good for that. Or a lot of times you got the opposite where people get promoted into positions that never came up through the ranks and they don't even know how to do it themselves. That's why they not, out there being their servant leader. But yeah, definitely, man. I display what I expect because I do want an outcome at the end of the day, man. You know me. I'm outcome driven, man. Of course, I definitely got bills just like everybody else, so I expect to get paid every 2 weeks, and I look forward to that. But I'm really, I love outcomes, man. So at the end of the day, it ain't about me being in charge, me saying, oh, this person worked for me or they did what I told them to do. I want an outcome. I want a finished product. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely display what I expect because without doing that, you're not gonna get the outcome.
You said you had something to ask, Brett.
That was it. I asked about the when Connoisseur talked about been remembering times where people wasn't that servant leader, they wasn't coming to the floor, they wouldn't help them with that. That was my question. Like, is that a reflection of sometimes people getting promoted into positions that they don't know how to do the things that's below them, or either people who, as soon as they got promoted, they said, I ain't never going back. You know what I'm saying? So again, which both of them are probably examples of people who no longer comfortable doing the grunt work. You know what I'm saying? But I enjoy the grunt work, man.
Okay, let me
miss the grunt work.
Okay. I'm going to ask you all this right here. We're going to go into our inspirational moment for the audience. Okay, and this where as we wrap up, Connoisseur, I ask people to give me an inspiration or a motivation quote from you that you find personal that you want to share with the audience. But also right now, hold on. Also, right now, this is the opportunity where I ask the guests, if y'all want to, you can ask me any questions at this moment in time as well.
Okay.
You can go first, Brett, if you want to.
Oh, okay. Mine is, I ain't got a quote, so I'm gonna get a little get a little long-winded and a little deep with mine.
You got to become philosophical. Is that what it is?
Nah, not philosophical. Mine is just about a way that I challenge myself to move, and I tell everybody that they should move, and I know a lot of people are not in positions or work in areas where there are levels, but even if there are not levels, like whether it's a 1 or 2 or supervisor, and that, you can find levels within whatever, any system that you work in, live in, play in, it don't matter, whatever. So I just challenge people. Like I say, I'm gonna use a supervisor, for example. If you're in a supervisor position, man, always carry yourself as if you are in a higher position, the position that's higher than what you are in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Always move and and react as if you're in a position higher than that. You know what I'm saying? Aim for that, but never forget to work like you're in a position that are 2 positions lower than you. You know what I'm saying? I think that that goes back to that servant leadership style. I always aim to be the president, the vice president, the shift supervisor, whatever that is above you, but never forget that we all are direct care staff at the end of the day. So long as you work like that direct care staff, but carry yourself like that president, man. I think that's just a key proponent to servant leadership.
All right, what you got there, connoisseur?
Well, when I think about servant leadership, and it's also a respect thing. It's also a give and take as well, and how you treat people. That's the main thing about servant leadership, how you treat. So my quote is from Confucius. Confucius says, "Do not do things unto others which you don't want to do to them." That was Confucius. So in a servant leadership, also remember how you treat your employees. If you want to get respect, you got to treat them respect. If you want them to work hard for them, or you want them to work hard for you, you got to work hard for them as well. It's an equal thing, equal bilateral thing that you have to do. And like I said, I've seen supervisors who've done that well, and they get the best employees. They get people that want to come and work for them. So that's been my inspirational moment for the audience.
All right. Do you have anything that you want to ask me, connoisseur?
Let me ask you. I've only been in a leadership position once when I worked at, years ago. So I haven't had a lot like y'all have. Y'all been in more leadership position than I have. But I was gonna say, what's been your most difficult leadership position? What's the one place you was like, man, I'd never do that again?
I've never had one.
Never had. Okay.
I never had one. Let me tell you why. And this is something that, man, I preach and I teach. And I have to, for me, I had to learn that once you step into a position, you got to handle that position, whether it's good or bad, ups and downs. And you got to identify you stepped into it, and that there was probably going to be a lot of learning curve for yourself, because in today's society, people don't give you a roadmap and say this is what is expected. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times you do a lot of living and learning. And so in a lot of leadership positions, I understood, one, it's a lonely position. That's number one. It's a lonely position.
It is.
And then be mindful that even when you start making changes and you are bringing about changes, people gonna always find something to make it seem like you're not doing enough. But when you gone, they realize I should just kept my damn mouth shut.
Yeah.
We had it good. We complained that, I look at me and Bratcher, man, when we took over the detention center, we turned that place, man, from probably a 50% compliance to about a 96% compliance.
50. 20.
Say, I'm trying to be nice, man.
Yeah, you trying to be nice.
But the thing is, from board liaison to executive leadership of the company, they complained about the damn 4%. Mm-hmm. Didn't learn how to appreciate the 96% compliance. But hey, you know what I'm saying, man? Nevertheless, it's part of the position. You go in, you handle it, and then for me, I just realized in dealing with Bratcher, I'm gonna tell you what's funny. I always compare relationships and business together. I always compare it together. Even when we've been in executive leadership meetings, I will always have something where I compared it to a relationship. And y'all probably hear me talk about it all the time. And I was just talking to a risk manager about that all the time.
My bad. Go ahead.
But the reason is I do that because everybody has had a relationship of some sort. Good, bad, indifferent, wonderful relationship, terrible relationship. But you had it. So my thing is, when it comes to business, let's take the I'm at work title off the issues that I'm having at work and put it on a relationship situation and look at those facts. Most people look at, man, if I was in a relationship, I'd be gone. Well, you know, there comes a time that everything don't always have to be bad in order for you to find an out. I'm the type person that believes, you know, for me, I did this stuff for 27 years, working with kids, and it was time to find an out. It was time to move on in life, and I put together a plan, a master plan to exit up out of there. But the thing is, every day I came to work, I gave my all. Every day. So the thing about leadership, man, you just gotta understand that you're gonna make decisions that's not favorable to most. You're gonna make decisions that you're gonna have to stand alone and stand on it. It is what it is. So as we're giving models, anybody else got anything else they want to ask? And I'm gonna share my little inspiration.
I got something a little crazy, man. You know, that quote that you shared was great, and I'm excited just because I got somebody. I'm gonna look up Confucius. I can say that I'm from Memphis. I can say it and don't feel bad. Confucius. I'm gonna find some more quotes from Confucius.
That in Pimp C. That is Pimp C. Look, even Project Tech got some good quotes.
I'm excited.
Even Project Tech got some good quotes. They all do.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to be able to share with people today. And this is valuable. There's a lot of pressure on young folks, old folks, medium folks, in order to just make a living and live a life. You know what I'm saying? Pressure becomes difficult. If you don't know how to handle pressure, pressure can cause stress and strain, heart attacks. Pressure can cause any type of ailment to speed up in your system. But most important, man, I like to tell people that the old wise saying is that pressure bursts pipes. We done heard that. But on the flip side, pressure also make diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Pressure make diamonds. So it's how you determine how you want to handle the pressure. All right. Next week, y'all, I'm going to have Connoisseur back on. We're going to dive into a little history and dealing with DEI in a little bit more detail. Tune in. It's going to be an interesting conversation because anyone that knows Connoisseur, history is his thing, and he always wants to be able to give some information that people not ready for. So, Bratcher, we ain't got nothing to do next week. I'm gonna reach out to you.
Man, I got a job, man. I got I might be logging on to see what y'all gotta say, but I can't express what I want to say about DEI. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Absolutely. That's no problem.
I'm just joking. You know.
I know, but hold on.
I know how to balance.
Let me get a sip of this lemon water before I close out. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all for that. As we wrap up, I want to thank each and every one of you all for tuning in to the Raw Approach on today. We had a good show dealing with servant leadership. I had two guests that was very informative. But hey, let's do it again next week. Remember, small victories lead to greater success. I am Dr. Woods, and you have just been hit by the Raw Approach. Peace out.
All right, bro. All right. You know.
Uh-oh. All right.